On this episode of Clarkston Eats, we're gonna spice things up, get some Latin street food at the world famous Honcho, downtown Clarkston, right off Main Street. Let's go. Hey guys, Brandon here, your partner for all things real estate, and welcome to our very first episode of Clarkston Eats. So we're gonna go on a crazy journey this year, and we're gonna be sending and giving you guys reviews on all the top hot Clarkston restaurants. Today I'm at one of my favorite restaurants downtown Clarkston, Honcho, where we're gonna spice it up. We're gonna get some Latin street food. We got one of my favorite appetizers, which is their chip trio. And so we'll order lunch. We're gonna talk about, on Clarkston Eats, we're gonna talk about prices, we're gonna talk about atmosphere, we're gonna talk about service, the food. We're gonna give you a complete inside look to our thoughts on how our experience was at these awesome restaurants right here downtown Clarkston. So make sure you stay with us until the very end so you can see all of our thoughts, our comments on what we had to think at Honcho. Stay tuned. So we just got our food. It was super fast. It's not super busy today at lunchtime. However, we got it super fast. So I got the spicy chicken tacos. I'm really looking forward to these because I love these. I get these for dinner. I never had them for lunch, but I'm gonna let you know how they do. Let's jump right in. All right, so we just finished lunch, had an amazing meal over at Honcho, and now it's time for the review. So here's how the reviews are gonna work. We're gonna score the restaurant on 5 different categories. We're gonna look at price, atmosphere, service, the food, of course, and then the overall experience. So in each category, the top score that we're gonna give each restaurant is a 5. So 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. So let's talk about price. Lunch for 2 of us was $25, which I think is very reasonable. Dinner prices at Honcho I think are even more reasonable for what you get, the atmosphere you get, the experience you get. Dinner I think is even better priced than their lunch, but a $25 lunch for a nice meal, I think that's very fair. So from a pricing standpoint, I'm gonna give Honcho a 4 out of 5, okay? So it's not the top end, but it's definitely not cheap, okay? So the next thing that I wanna talk about is overall atmosphere. Now, if you've never been to Honcho, it's one of my favorite parts about the restaurant. The atmosphere is incredible. They've got an awesome bar scene. They've got a great sit-down restaurant if that's what you're looking for. They have a barista and a coffee shop and a donut shop right in the restaurant. And on top of all of that, they have exterior seating, both for winter and summer. You saw us have lunch in the middle of January outside in their famous cubes. So from an atmosphere standpoint, I'm gonna give Honcho a 5 out of 5. I think it's phenomenal. Now, let's talk about service. When it comes to service, I think they do an awesome job as well. They're always polite, always happy, always do what they say they're gonna do. So from a service perspective, Honcho, you nailed it, 5 out of 5. Now, let's talk about the food, right? That's where we go, that's why we go places for the most part, is the food. So my opinion, I think their food is great. They have Latin street food. I think you would call it similar to maybe a Mexican. It's like a spicy, they call it Latin street food, but you can compare that to maybe a Mexican restaurant. And so I think the food is great. There's some things that I love. There's some dishes that maybe people that are a little bit more picky wouldn't care for. So I'm gonna give their food a 4 out of 5, okay? And now the last thing I wanna talk about is our overall experience. So because Clarkston Eats, we're just talking about restaurants right here in Clarkston, Honcho's a newer restaurant downtown Clarkston, And I think over time, it's going to be absolutely one of those staple restaurants that get to be known like the Clarkston Union. I think that you're going to see over time that restaurant do better and better and better, because I think it's an awesome place to go have lunch, to go hang out and have dinner and have drinks after dinner on a Friday or a Saturday night. So that's it for our first review ever on Clarkston Eats, and I'm so grateful that we chose Honcho as our first ever review of our local Clarkston restaurants. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep it local, keep choosing local Clarkston restaurants. Before you go, if there's anything I could ever do for you to be your local real estate expert, go to my website, soldbybrandon.com. And if you're looking to buy or sell a property, there's all kinds of information you can get on our website.